Alright, so I am back, and today we are going to take a look at the Mastermind Creations insert random third-party name here, and or Cyclonus, if you will. I just don't care about these stupid third-party names. What is it? Boreas? Boris? Now we need a Natasha. I know that's not how you pronounce it, but that's how I'm going to say it from now on. Boris. So anyway, here's look at the packaging. For those that like that. Yep, this, that, and the other thing. It comes with the collector card, which some people collect. Most people don't. I don't. We get the instruction booklet that's in there, and with power for the course for the MMC guys, I'm betting there's a comic. Yep, yeah, comic. Alright, got the crap out of the way. So he comes with the sword. And then he does come with an alternate head. I believe this is the IDW inspired broken horn head thing, whatever. I don't. Okay. Yeah. I don't get it, but okay. Sword, no guns, which is really unfortunate, but you know, hey, whatever. So, setting it off the side. So here is the jet mode. Looks really good. It's a little finicky getting in there and getting all the little tabs to get into place, but it looks good. Feels good. It's got a nice weight to it. Got this glossy plastic to it, so it kind of it just kind of reminds me of their other releases, you know, the Predacons and such. So yeah, I'm down. Looks good, feels good. Yeah, transformation's pretty simple. There's not really much to go into here. He's got the landing gear. It can fold up like that and like that. Sure, there's a place to store the sword in robot or in vehicle mode maybe, but I don't know. It's not that big of a deal to me. So let's just get him transformed, shall we? So you want to pull the legs back, straighten those out, straighten out the feet. And as you see, this little panel here will move with the foot to kind of hide the jointish, or yeah, hide the joint. Flip these panels here back. All right, we got the legs done. So then we want to rotate the camera up a little bit here. Alright, we want to then untab this wing assembly from here, and it just folds up. Same thing over here. Just split that apart, fold it up. Just kind of get those out of the way for now. And then we want to, rotate the arms up just a little bit, getting those out of the way. Then this piece here will fold out like that, and then this piece here will fold up like that, and then this whole assembly will come down and around to the back, and then you just kind of cording this back up into here. We can take this piece here then, and it folds up, so it's on the back. This will come down. It kind of tabs into place, but not like a super solid tab. We can then pull this piece back up like that. Split the nose cone. You know, you don't really even need to split the nose cone, but that's kind of personal preference. We are going to be splitting the nose cone now. And then this will just fold up and tab into place up here. And then the wings just kind of fold to the back. Kind of pretty much however you just prefer to have them. We're just going to go like that. Get them out of the way. That'll rotate up. It's got a ratchet to it. Rotate the arms down. Pull this little side piece around to the side, and then you can straighten the arms. Just like that. Same thing over here. And then open up these wrist panels here. that. And we can flip out the hand. Close that up. Spin this around. Then we can, yeah, just like that. Flip this side piece here to the side. And I guess we can leave those out or up, you know, kind of just your personal preference there. All this out, put the arms, close it back up, rotate, get this back down here, and there he is in his robot mode. And I think he looks good, but he's got some issues. We'll kind of, and all of them are like build quality type issues. So Poseability, we'll go over that first, and we'll go over all the issues I have with it. Head is on a ball joint, so you get the left and right, a little up, a little down. Arms rotate up and down. You can hear that there's no ratchets there. In and out. Bicep swivel. Double bend elbow. Wrist swivels and hinges up and down. So there's that. It's got a waist swivel. The hips swivel up and down. Ratchet in and out. Thigh swivel. Double ratcheted knee. The foot has a tilt and rocker. So, good range of motion. Now, for the issues that I have for this guy, first off, the head is on a ball joint. Now, I'm not one to be against ball joints at all, as you guys know. I prefer them usually because they get a good range of motion. But, in this case, the problem I have, come on, stand. The problem I had is the location of the ball joint, because it's so far up on the chin. I mean, it's a ball joint on the chin. I don't know why they couldn't just put it on nearer the back. But so like when he's looking straight on, it looks fine. But once you start kind of going into different poses, it starts looking really goofy. I mean, like really goofy. Yeah, that. It's just bizarre, a bizarre choice. And of course, to switch out the heads, you could just pop that one in. I prefer more classics look myself. Now, shoulders are on swivels, no ratchets, and as you can see, it's not loose enough to be floppy, but it is. That is borderline. Let's see. You can hold the sword just fine, and that makes it floppy. It's too much weight for his arm. So I'm gonna probably have to take it apart and see if I can tighten that joint up. So there's that. Then there's these ratcheted pieces where the arms go up. Problem I have here is that they don't lock into place. Now, if they had some piece that would just lock it in and it'd be solid, then it would work. But because it's got this play, because it doesn't. And this side is not nearly as bad. It fits in a lot better. So it's this side. So again, I'm gonna have to take it apart and see what's wrong with it. Arms feel a little long. I don't know if you guys are noticing this or not. Let me get let's see here. How about a Chuck Seeker here? So his arms look just about right, and they come down to about just below the hip. These go down to his knees. Let's see here. This guy, almost. No, about mid-thigh. Chug Prime, mid-thigh. Yeah, so they just they're a little on the long side. The hips, I gotta say, the first click, so you get the A stances out to there, but it's not so much the A stance that's the problem, it's that these ball joints for the feet are loose. So I'm gonna have to tighten those up, and probably, and now see, I can't even, to transform it, you have to keep these clear, otherwise I'd put some like rubber insoles on his feet. And because these aren't ratcheted and they're a little on the loose side too, he kind of has a problem standing. So, and I got mine brand new, so it's not because it's used or anything like that. Mine is brand new. Got it, open it right up, and transformed it one time to jet mode, and then once back to robot mode, and that was the transformation to the robot mode was what you guys just saw. So that's a little disappointing. Now the knees, they're kind of weird because they're not. The legs aren't perfectly straight. They're kind of curved, and that's just kind of like the way it's designed, which is bizarre. It's just like one more click. It seems like one more click. So if I were feeling creative or really risky, I could carve that in and get one more click out of it. And the choice not to give him a gun is really, really bizarre. Now I get it. In IDW, he prefers a sword. Uses a sword all the time. I don't know if he ever used a gun in IDW. I don't read IDW, but I get that. I do. But MMC really needs to sit there and think, like, not only, it's like when you put in the IDW head, you're catering to an IDW fan. And I get that this is based on the IDW design. But by tossing in a G1 style head, you're catering to a G1 style fan as well. Like me, who I like the Neo aesthetics. So I would have preferred to have a gun with him because he had a gun in the cartoon. Now, let's see here. You could just give him... I've got plenty of guns, so that won't be a problem for very long. So, yeah, and he can hold 5mm guns just fine. So, unless, of course, you put him in this hand where he can't hold it up. Good job, MMC. Anyway, overall, I mean, I want to like him. I really, really do. But ultimately, I think once I tear him apart and fix a lot of these QC issues, I'll probably like him more. But as it is, I can't sit here and say that he's the best Cyclonus ever. But scale-wise, here he is with a Voyager Prime and the Deluxe Seeker. So he's significantly bigger than that. Here he is with Unique Toys Mania King. And I think that is just about a perfect scale. So he comes up to about mid-head. So he's definitely a bigger character. And in the show, he was always a little bit bigger than Galvatron. So having him just a little bit bigger than Galvatron is just about perfect. Now, I have two options for my sweeps. I've got the Generations and the Titans Return, or Bobblehead, as I call them. Now, I'd say I like the Generations better of the two options, but this one is a little bit taller. Either one's not quite right. I need a Scourge that's about this tall. That's what I would like. So I think it's time for a new Scourge. I do. MMC, come on, get on it. And then just for shits and giggles, here they are with 6-shot. And I think that's a perfect scale with those three. I think that works just perfectly. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to bring 6-shot out here, though, is just like QC-wise, I mean, this guy doesn't even come close to what this guy is. Yes, he's a much bigger figure, but you know, he was 150 and he's what, 80, 90 bucks, something like that. And I don't know, I expected more. I did. I mean, I watched the reviews and I get it. You know, some people weren't happy because he's taken after, or he's using the lockdown mold or whatever. I think the mold works for him just fine. I don't have an issue there mold-wise. My problem is more QC. I think they could have tightened the joints out a little bit better and given him a gun, and he probably would have. If it wasn't for the QC issues, and if he came with a good weapon rather than just a sword, then we'd have a much better figure going on here. I think this is magnetic. Yeah, so you can sort on any bolts or screws that he's got in the back there. But again, he didn't have one. He didn't have this in the cartoon, or yeah, in the G1 cartoon. So I doubt I'm going to be using it for him. Yeah. So all in all, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I think it could be better. I really, really think it could have been better. Could be worse. I mean, it could definitely have been a fail. But I mean, and once I fix it up a little bit, I'll probably like it a lot better. And I really do hope that they re-release him in different colorations, so that I can get like a Armada. Because I mean, I like it enough that I would buy a second copy of the mold if it was in better colorations. I'm not a fan of Lockdown, and I don't really need a Death's Head, so I don't really need those characters. But if I get one of these guys in a little better condition for my Armada, you know, because you know, Cyclonus and his Armada, there were two. I'd be down for that. I would. And then also just because I'm here and we're all here, here he is with their Obsidian and Strika, who, while they, you know, aren't perfect representations of the characters, they're a better representation of what MMC should be doing, because these guys are built like tanks. These guys, I mean, they really outdid themselves on these two. So, and you know, when I first got them, I wasn't overly like, man, wow, these things are great. But once I had them together, I was like, okay, yeah, these guys are great. But it's just, I don't know. It's a far cry from what I expected, because I was expecting something in this quality. But I'm getting something more in Hasbro quality. So, yeah, could be better, could be worse. All in all, you know, for a good chug collection, if you're going for like, if you got like Mania King, then yeah, I recommend it. I do. Just be wary of it. The KFC one is smaller. Tempest, he's smaller. He's got just as many QC issues because it's, you know, a KFC product, so we just kind of go into that expecting it. And I did like that figure a lot, but I do like this one better, like in hand and stylization of it. I like it better, but you know, if you have the KFC one, I don't know if this is quite worthy of upgrading. But if you don't, and all you have is the crappy Combiner Wars one, then by all means, please upgrade. Please, for my sake, upgrade. Get rid of the Combiner Wars crap. Or if you have the Generations one, I mean, as as good as that mold is, the Generations, it's too small at this point. So if somebody were to upscale it, it'd be better. But anyway, I'm rambling. I'm rambling a lot. Anyway, I like it. It's good. It's not great, but it'll do. It'll do for now.